sounds like a lot of bullshit. Man, you got some questions?
I got a lot of questions, but we're going to do a Q&A. But before we talk more about your extensive career, where were you born and how did you get into acting?
That's a long fucking question. I'm born and raised in Canada. I'm Canadian. I'm not fucking American. Alright? I make too much money in America for them to send me home. Born in Toronto, Canada. I started writing at 13. I had my first play produced when I was 15. I took acting lessons to help my writing. And I ended up on this fucking stage with him.
This was the short version. Michael, we spoke yesterday, and I want to ask you this. Can you take us back to 80s TV land? Because you were in the A-Team with Ernie Hudson in the Taxicab Wars episode, but you were also in V, a show which I love. What was that 80s TV scene like when you were playing those roles?
A lot of alcohol, a lot of drugs. When the A-Team, actually, I've been sober 41 years. The A-Team was my last job drinking. It's a matter of necessity. I mean, I was so loaded on the A-Team, my makeup would run off from the sweat. The alcohol would come out in the sweat. The one great thing about the A-Team is I met Brian James on that. There was one episode I did. You know who Brian James is? You fucking neophytes. You don't know who Brian James is. Did you ever, did you see Blade Runner? Brian James is, you want to talk about my mother? That's Brian James, right? God, I just got an emotional memory. No, it was great. The A-Team was just one job. I got sober about 2 months later. V, here's something for you. V, the character of Ham. You guys know V? That character was supposed to be in a wheelchair when they sent it to me, and I told them, fuck, I can't do this. And they said, why? I said, my name's Ironside, and you want to put me in a wheelchair. And there was a character in the 70s and 80s played by Raymond Burr who was in a wheelchair. This character's name was Ironside. So we basically rewrote the character. And I think they did a pretty good job. He's very similar, I guess, Ham Tyler to the guy that's in Total Recall. Somebody who can't give affection and can't accept affection. Anyway.
Wow. Michael, I wanted to say, you have this organic talent and like an ingenious way to translate this unmistakable power to the screen. One of your roles that, I mean, to me is very important is Daryl in Scanners, and then obviously Richter in Total Recall. And even though you have a lot of power in both those roles, there's a range, you know. How do you prepare for a role like the one in Scanners or the one in Total Recall? How do you prep that? Is that something that comes?
My suggestion is if you want to be an actor, learn how to goddamn do it. I went to school for 5 years, 24 hours a week in acting classes before I acted. I did it to help my writing. I ended up an actor. Wow. Who here has seen Scanners? Yeah, about 5 or 6 here. The rest of you don't have any idea what I'm talking about. I basically was hired for 1 day on that film. I was supposed to, do you remember the flashback scene, that black and white scene where he's in the hospital with a bandage over his eye, over his forehead, because he drilled a hole in his forehead? That character, that was the only scene I was hired for, and then they made the character up basically daily. You know, I sometimes got the script the night before. If you ask David Cronenberg, he won't remember it that way, but it's the truth. It's been a long time ago. That's 1979. Is there anyone here that was alive in 1979?
Yeah.
You were alive in 1979? You're in really good shape. No, I patterned him after Che Guevara. Does anyone know who Che Guevara was? Why are you cheering for Che Guevara? You fucking communist. No, but Che Guevara was somebody who was very passionate. He believed, there's a line in Scanners that was in Europe but is no longer there. It said, just because you made me, you don't get to kill me. And it caused a huge riot. And in Europe when it came out, because all the skinheads in London and in France and all the revolutionaries suggested, they went around chanting, "Just because you made me, you don't get to kill me." So when it went to the United States, in those days there were short releases. They would do regional release, 20 prints. They cut that scene right out of the masters, so nobody in North America ever saw that. But there's a great line, "Just because you made me, you don't get to kill me." And it became kind of like an anthem for a lot of the skinheads in the UK and stuff. Anyway, Scanners, yeah. I'm forever grateful. That was my 19th film, and it brought me onto like an international kind of...
Yeah, if you guys don't know about Scanners, go check it out. Scanners by David Cronenberg. So, I wanna mention at least 2 more movies before we go into the Q&A. If you want to ask Mr. Michael Ironside a question, go line up in front of the mic. Total Recall with Paul Verhoeven. You were Richter, obviously. What was that like, that whole process of making that production?
Paul's one of my heroes. Look, I've made like close to 370 productions, not 270.
Oh, wow.
You cut 100 out of my career.
Sorry, bro.
But I turned down RoboCop. They originally wanted me to play the robot guy, but I was too big across the shoulders. I wasn't always like this, I just got over 4.5 years of cancer, and I put on 165 pounds taking the drug for cancer. I got the blood work back last week. I'm completely clean again, so...
Hey, make some noise for that!
Hey, cheer for the fucking doctors.
Yeah, man.
Doctors,
Listen,
like when you're in shopping plazas and those people are, they're soliciting money for research, give them some coin, give them some change. Cancer isn't the death note it used to be. How many people here know somebody that's got cancer? Let them know you love them, because having cancer makes you feel absolutely alone. It makes you feel like you're out of touch with everybody. So if anyone you know, or if you've had cancer, you understand what I mean. Let them know you love them. But what the fuck was I talking about?
Wait a minute, man. Mr. Michael Ironside is a legend, but for this, he's a double legend. Make some noise. Come on, man. I wanted to ask you about Total Recall. We were going to talk about that.
Total Recall. I had turned down, so when Paul offered me the RoboCop guy and like the Bravo team, I couldn't fit in. So they go on Peter. Peter's like a skinny little guy, they put him in the equipment, he looked great. If I'd worn it, I would have looked like a truck. So Paul said, I don't know, I want you to play this guy. So there was this sniveling, drinking, messed up drug addict guy, the one that dies in the gas station. And I was newly sober and I went, I don't really want to play a sniveling, sweating drug addict guy. You know what I mean? And Paul got very upset, and so did the producers. But we got together on Total Recall, and I class him as a close acquaintance. I don't think anyone could call Paul a friend. Maybe his family. But I've done 2 films with him where he's always talking about doing a 3rd. I hope it happens, I really do.
And Total Recall is one of my favorite movies of all time. But you were also in Starship Troopers. Any Starship Troopers fans? Any Starship Troopers fans? Lieutenant Ranchak, what was that like? Like to play him with the monologues and just the militant side and everything?
That's 6.5 months. We started in the Utah desert when it was 36 degrees in the morning. I remember going to my trailer, my dressing room, and there was ice in the toilet. I had to break the ice in the toilet. And when we finished in August, it was 120 degrees. And those outfits, they're made of Kevlar. You know what Kevlar is? It doesn't breathe. So at the end of the day, you could turn it over because they had foot booties in them. You could pour the sweat out of them. And they didn't smell very good after the first week or so. And all that armor and stuff, and the helmets and all that, it came to almost 75 pounds when we did that and the guns they made and stuff. So, when you watch that movie, know that all those actors are pissing in their pants and sweating, all right? Because there was to get that thing off, you had to take all that shit off, unzip it, right? Like Jake Busey, if you ever get to see Jake Busey, know that he pissed in his uniform. Man's an asshole.
Phenomenal. Okay, one more movie I want to talk about, then we'll go into the Q&A. Listen, Top Gun. Jester.
Yeah,
What was that like to work on film?
Who here seen Top Gun?
Come on.
The original Top Gun.
Make some noise for Top Gun. Come on, man.
Look at him. Maverick's a really, really good film. It's a really, really good film. Tony Scott, the original director, was a good friend of mine. And it drove Jerry Bruckheimer crazy, one of the producers, because Tony and I were good friends. And Don Simpson, the first producer, Jerry's partner, he ended up dying. He committed suicide. It's a long, sad story. But so when it came to Top Gun Maverick, I heard that they offered me the character of a drunken, wasted instructor that's sitting somewhere, because Jerry Bruckheimer hates my fucking guts. And so I turned it down, because to do that, I would discredit all those guys I played, you know, because I basically represent all those instructors. If you're ever watching Top Gun, there's that scene where Val Kilmer's playing with his pen. You know the one I'm talking about? And I'm about to introduce Tom Skerritt. Look at the back of the classroom in the master shot. That's all the real Top Gun pilots. There's 9 of them lined up at the back, and they aren't supposed to be on the film because it was against regulations and politics. And I snuck them in. I talked to Tony, I said, can we sneak them in for one shot? And they all got dressed up, and they all stood at the back of the classroom against the wall. But that's the real dudes, that's the real guys. What we did in that film, they do every day, but they do it at about 30,000 feet in the air. Tony, when he made the film, dropped it down to about 4,000 or 5,000 feet. So you could see it in conjunction with mountains and landscape, and you could see how fast they were going. Nothing we did in the film was special. They do that on a daily basis. They basically break left or right, starboard or port, and they go within a yard to a meter of each other when they break, coming at each other. One of the Top Gun pilots, when he first saw the film at Paramount when we had the screening, he quit. He said, I'm married, I've got 2 new kids, and I've never seen what I do on a daily basis from that point of view, and I don't want to do it anymore. And then all the other pilots sat there and said, okay, and it blew me away that they did not try and talk him out of it, because they have each other's life in each other's hands every day, and if he doesn't want to do it, they don't want him there, and that makes sense to me. But
great stuff, man.
They were all good. Everyone on that film was a lot of fun. It was one of those special films. They actually didn't think it was going to work. Tom and Cruise had already done Legend, and Legend was sitting in a can somewhere. They didn't know how to release it, so they saw it as a kind of a failed project. So when we did Top Gun, it was like a brand new idea. It was like, the studio didn't know whether they wanted to do it, and had to keep all the studio execs off the set and stuff like that. But they did a really good job. At the time, also, it was the loudest film ever made. The decibel, Tony made sure that the sound was way up, because you had to have that physical experience of being around those jets. Anyway.
I love it, I love it. So we can talk for hours. I want to do some questions for you guys, the Q&A. And actually, if you guys don't know about The Falcon and the Snowman, go check that film out too. Phenomenal. David Bowie, Beth Metheny on the soundtrack, and Michael is in it. So let's go to the Q&A. First question, what's up, bro?
Hello, Michael Ironside?
Just Michael.
Oh, sorry. You were also a voice actor in Justice League. Darkseid.
Yes.
Yes, the Superman and the Justice League.
Yeah.
My question is, how was it working with Kevin Conroy and the rest of the voice cast?
I never met them.
No?
No. I had no fucking idea who they were.
Ah, okay.
Are you talking about Darkseid and stuff like that?
The character itself, yeah.
Darkseid!
Yeah.
You know where that voice comes from? I had to sit in for a friend of mine who had a blues band. And they said, give that woman a hand, here we go. Redheads, they're so rare. Taste like iron. That was inappropriate, I'm sorry. No, but I filled in for a friend of mine on a blues band. They just signed their contract, and he got hit by a car in a crosswalk. In his first couple, he had 3 gigs where the record executives were coming. And he said, you know all the songs, so you sing them, just the standards. And I had no idea about singing. I used to sit at the table near the band and sing along with them, you know. So I did, and I blew the top of my voice off. I got these things called nodes on my larynx, and they wanted to cut them off, but this woman told me, don't do it because it'll keep coming back and you lose your voice box. So I ended up not talking for 2 months after that gig. But I would sing stuff like, all the blues standards, like, you know, you're going to need somebody to love, you're going to need somebody to love. But my way of doing it was to drink a half a bottle of Jack Daniels, get up on stage, and then scream my head off, and I damaged my voice. And so I had to learn. I got a job called Adventures in the Forbidden Zone. Has anyone ever seen that? It's an old one, it's out there. And I played this guy named Overdog. I guess my answers just didn't turn him on. And so the voice came from that character, Overdog. I learned how to use the bottom of my larynx.
Wow.
That's how that Ironside character came from, okay?
Great. Next question. Yeah, make some noise, man. Come on.
Hey.
I've never seen anybody walk away during the answer too, but
it's all right. Obviously, I didn't satisfy him. My wife feels the same way, so.
Good morning, Michael. I'm a big fan. We rewatch Starship Troopers with our friends every year. And my question is, there's been a new video game recently, Helldivers 2, and it has brought a lot of attention back to Starship Troopers because of its resemblance. Have you noticed anything with new interest? No?
I don't give a shit.
Okay. Good. Thank you.
No, I don't.
That's okay.
I'm not a gamer. I just make them.
right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Well, sorry, very unsatisfying answer.
Very real though.
You guys, the only one I know is Splinter Cell. Did you guys, anyone here know Splinter Cell? Sam Fisher. You know they're making a mini-series, a limited series in South Africa. It's gonna, I think, I can't remember his name. I never remember his name. It's a really good choice to play Sam. I'm too old to play Sam on camera. Who are you supposed to be?
Naked Snake.
Ah.
Right. And about Splinter Cell, so they have a favorite line from it? A favorite line that Sam says?
Fuck no.
No?
No.
You don't?
Sam is a stealth guy. He doesn't talk a lot. No, I don't have a favorite line.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. The greatest thing about that game was it allowed everyone to talk. It was the first interactive game. So people like in Hollywood or in Los Angeles and New York and Mumbai and Johannesburg could talk to each other. So it would be somebody saying, hey, I heard there was a riot last night in Johannesburg. And the guy goes, nah, there was 14 people that didn't get their welfare checks because the news inflates everything. So they would tell the truth on Splinter Cell. I don't have a favorite line, sorry kid.
Next question. Hey man.
Michael, you had a lot of things that you worked on, especially Splinter Cell, which is one of my favorites. Is there any news about like you revising the role of Sam Fisher in?
No, because everything is visual now, and look at me. You know, I just survived cancer. I weigh 160 pounds overweight. I'm about to become 75 years old. Nobody wants me playing Sam Fisher.
Just the voice.
No, because, well, they offered me a part in the series. Yeah. I said the first time I open my voice, everyone's going to know that's Sam.
Yeah.
God, Avi. No, Liev Schreiber. Liev Schreiber's playing Sam in this limited series. It's a very, very good choice. But I mean, it's not fair. If he's playing Sam, and I said, what am I supposed to do? Change my voice? Hi, Liev. No, as soon as I open my voice, they'll know I'm Sam, because anyone that's going to watch that are Sam aficionados. They talked about doing a new game, getting somebody else to do all the physical and having me do the voice.
Yeah.
I'm not interested. It's kind of boring. It's kind of like just to make money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's like just.
You'd rather be
I'd rather try something. Look, I'm about to be 75 years old. Somebody announced it yesterday. Anyway, I've got less time in front of me than behind me, and I'd rather do new things. You know, why waste my time on something I've already done? I want to try new things.
Yeah. I want to make some noise for that though. 75 and wanted to do new things. Yeah, no, talent never lies, man. Real energy.
If you're lucky, you get to be old.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question? All right, get out of here.
Okay, next question.
Hey, I like your haircut.
Thanks. You've obviously had a lot of. Sorry. You've obviously had a lot of roles. What was the most difficult role that you had to prep for?
Next one.
How did you prep for it?
The next one. The next job. Look at you guys have all owned multiple cars, right? You look back at cars you've owned and you kind of, some of you go, oh, I really miss that car, and others you're like, go, fuck, am I glad I don't drive that again. That's the way I feel about the past. You know, it's like, they're vehicles that I was in and I drove and stuff like that. I'm always excited about the next one. I got about 3 or 4 I'm supposed to do this year. There's one in Australia I'm really hoping they get their act together. We were all ready to do it, but then COVID hit, and then the strike and all that stuff, so they're trying to refinance it. And it's about pedophilia and a police investigation and corruption and stuff like that. It's a really wonderfully written script, and it's important subject matter. So I hope we get to do that. But
Did you ever have to go through military training? Oh, sorry. Did you ever have to go through military training?
no, all my uncles and my father were all Second World War vets, and my dad used to say I was born in a uniform, but no, it's what you get in the military is structured, you know, is structure and thinking and stuff like that. It's very easy to, it's not easy to recreate. If you understand it, it's something that's easy to employ and then put a character into it.
Got you. Thanks. We got 1 minute left. I want to
1 minute
to get that last question asked.
Quick.
Okay. Probably get this question
Closer to the mic. Come on.
Sorry. You probably got the question a lot of times, but you played several characters, good as evil. You've got no, sorry.
Evil?
No, not evil.
Jeremy Irons is evil. Jeremy Irons is evil. I played bad people.
Yeah. Which roles did you like best?
I'm not going to answer that.
No.
It's like saying, which woman did you have the most fun with? You know? I've only been with one in 41 years, so don't hold that against me. My wife's not here, but I don't lie. I don't have a good enough memory to lie.
I hope you would say, like, would like to play a character, maybe in the future, like a bad guy or a good guy.
Bad guy or good guy?
Do you mean, does he have a favorite kind of energy?
I understand. You say good guys and bad guys, right? There's no such thing. There's people that need.
Yeah.
Look, we're born. We're born. We're born under love. We learn fear and hate. That's how we survive. You know? And bad people are people that got bad training as a child. They learn early. You know? They do the wrong things to get love and get affection, whether they know it or not. That's how I build characters from the ground up. Sorry, it's not a very satisfying answer. You know?
Thanks, man. Thank you. Okay, we're going to wrap this up the right way. Michael, come on. We got to get everybody in a shot. Dutch Comic Con. Make some noise for the one and only Michael Ironside.
Thanks for your time, everybody.
Michael, I got to say it though. See you at the party, Rick Todd.